welcome back to another video on the channel. Before I kick things off talking about tennis, I will warn you that my dog is asleep on my bed there, so if you do hear a barking or a sudden jump, you know where it's from. But yeah, just looking at the tennis at the minute and sort of an update on the channel of what's sort of going on. If anyone wasn't aware, the ATP banned all men's tournaments, challenger and professional, from last week for 6 weeks. So that includes obviously the Miami Open, Monte Carlo Masters on clay, and the Barcelona Open. And obviously it looks like the clay court tournament could be completely wiped out. I mean, you've got tournaments in Italy, which is the most badly affected place in Europe, and then of course the French Open, which I'll move on to after talking about the women's. And yesterday, I think it was, the WTA announced a 5-week suspension on their side. So that includes tournaments in Prague and Istanbul, in Stuttgart in Germany. Obviously all European tournaments that the coronavirus is spreading across Europe very quickly and affecting pretty much every country now. So yeah, obviously the big one would be the French Open. I think the problem with tennis, and I know the IPL and the cricket and the PSL have been abandoned or postponed, to later on in the year. I think the problem with tennis is that, especially with the French Open, is that it's a 2-week long tournament. So if you've got 20, 30, 40,000 people wanting to visit a tournament every day, that's almost 500,000 people over a 2-week period that they're going to be attending the tournament and obviously interacting with other people, which is what they're trying to get away from. There's the across Europe now, they're putting in the law of self-isolation, where you've got to be a certain amount of distance away from other people and stay indoors as much as possible. Being in arenas and stadiums and sitting next to people and people spreading germs naturally, it's probably the worst thing possible. So I think banning all sporting events at the minute is the best thing to go about, but it is leaving a massive hole in a lot of people's lives, having no sport on or music events and so forth. But for the French Open and the clay court season, to be honest, I can't see any of it going ahead. I mean, the Italian Open, as I said before, Italy's been the most badly affected. I think it was 368 deaths in one day on Sunday, which is just shows you how deadly this disease is right now. And as I say, the French Open, a 2-week long tournament going ahead in France. I mean, France, I was reading Macron's the bits from his press conference, and he's really cracking down on basically fully locked down in the full country. So a 2-week tournament with over 500,000 people wanting to attend, I really can't see going ahead. But they'll have thought long and hard about it. I think I was reading this morning about the ATP not considering any tournaments going ahead behind closed doors at the minute. And again, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, behind closed doors, you're still going to need medical people there. You're still going to have some sponsors there, judges, referees, obviously line judges, players, coaches. So you're still never going to have a tournament that's fully behind closed doors, and it's not fair to risk them people's health for the sake of a sporting event, in my opinion. Obviously this is probably in the back of minds of every player now. I'm sure they're not really affected by not playing. It's for the right reasons. I'm sure they'd rather be self-isolating with the families and keep themselves safe, which is the right thing to do. But as this is a tennis channel and as there's no tennis going on, so there's very little to talk about the current situation. I'm just going to have a look at a couple of players that are going to be most badly affected if the clay court season was completely wiped out. Obviously on the men's side, you first off look at Rafael Nadal. Obviously dominates the clay court season. The Grand Slam title race is incredibly close at the minute, with Rafa on 19, Roger on 20 and Novak on 17, and looking like the one that's going to finish with the most at the minute. He's got the momentum, and his favourite going at the most Grand Slams now, Djokovic, with the way he's playing. But yeah, Rafa, he's always favourite in Barcelona and Italian Open, Madrid, and then going up to the French Open. He's won that title as a 12 times now, and he goes into Roland Garros, and he's always the favourite to follow up his title win from the year previous. And he was going into this clay court season fantastic form. He played outstanding in Australia. Obviously lost that quarter final thrill at the Dominic team He played an outstanding US Open and won that title last year. He won the French Open last year again. And Rafa is almost at the peak of his powers. He was going to that French Open, and with Dominic Thiem coming through as well, playing arguably his best tennis of his career. It was promised to be a fantastic French Open. Djokovic doesn't look like getting beaten any surface at the minute. You've got Stefanos Tsitsipas was looking to bounce back. Obviously, Sasha Zverev had a fantastic Australian Open. He's a solid clay court player. There's many players, Schwartzman, Koric, even Monfils is having a fantastic year. Medvedev looking to have a big tournament. Promised to be a fantastic French Open, but unfortunately at the minute, it hasn't been cancelled yet. I think they're going to review tournaments from April the 3rd. The French Open doesn't start until late May, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to reach its peak at that sort of time, so it could arguably be falling at the worst time of the year, the French Open. But yeah, as I say, it's just one of them things, isn't it? But looking at the women's side, I mean, the French Open's arguably the best women's tournament of the year for me, just because it throws up so many different winners. Obviously in 2017 we saw that fantastic surgence of Yelena Ostapenko. She came completely out of the blue and just blew everyone off the court to win her maiden Grand Slam title. The 2018 final saw Simona Halep eventually win her maiden Grand Slam title, which was fantastic scenes that will always be remembered. Halep's career for winning that first Grand Slam title. Obviously she reached all them semi-finals and finals over the years, but never quite got over the line. But to see eventually get over the line at Roland Garros was fantastic. And obviously last year we had another maiden Grand Slam title winner, Ashley Barty, to reach the world number 1. She played an outstanding 2019 French Open, and she would have been looking forward to trying to defend her title this year, but whether she gets the opportunity to do that will remain to be seen. And let's just say we didn't get any clay court tennis. Moving on to the grass court season, and obviously Wimbledon's the highlight of that season. And being living in England, I'm very doubtful whether that tournament will go ahead. Obviously Wimbledon is massively supported. I mean, we get 80 to 100,000 spectators around Wimbledon grounds a day, so you're looking at over a couple of million people trying to attend that tournament, which is a hell of a lot of people. And people obviously travel worldwide, players, coaches, sponsors, spectators, fans, journalists, to travel worldwide to see this tournament. It's arguably the biggest sporting event in England each year. And England are getting really bad at the moment. Apparently we haven't even reached our peak yet, but we're doubling cases every day. I think there's up to over 1,500 people I think now tested positive. 50 odd people have died, unfortunately, from the disease as well. So it's very difficult for the government to get under control. And if we don't reach our peak for 3 or 4 weeks, then you don't know how long the country's going to go on lockdown. And the fact that Wimbledon is played in London, which is the capital, the most badly affected place we've got so far at the moment, it's very difficult for me to see a tournament going ahead. And it would be devastating really if Wimbledon was to get called off. I mean, it's probably my highlight 2 weeks of the year. I'm already missing the tennis. I've only missed one tournament, the Miami Open, but life is very strange without sport, really. You don't realise how much it almost takes over your life. I mean, it's not as if it's one sport, it's football, boxing, tennis, cricket, rugby. I watch a lot of different sports, and when you haven't got any of them, it's very difficult to fill your weekends up especially. But it's just one of them things. Unfortunately, it's a situation that sporting events can't participate in. I mean, sporting events are probably the worst thing to go to in this current climate. Interacting with other people, they're trying to avoid all that for the right reasons. So we're just gonna hopefully wait until it all blows over, and then tennis will be back and sport will be back, and we'll be continue to watch our favourite sportsmen and women and enjoying the world's best tournaments again. And as I say, it's just an unfortunate event, and it's important that everyone keeps safe. I hope everyone that watches these videos and subscribe and interacts on Twitter are all safe and self-isolating wherever you are in the world, and that your families are safe. But I am trying to get out as much content as possible. I just thought I would do a quick update on where we are at the minute with the ATP and WTA. So ATP is banned for another 5 weeks. I think they are due back at the start of the clay court season, but that's just temporary measures. They are going to review that, and I think we'll be seeing another lengthy postponement as soon as that current postponement is up. With, I say, tournaments going to Italy and France, the two of the most places that are badly affected. So I can't see any tournaments going ahead. And for the WTA, they've obviously recently postponed tournaments in Prague, Istanbul and Stuttgart, obviously all European tournaments. And again, with the Italian Open and the French Open coming up, then I can't see tournaments going ahead for a long time, but we've just got to let the authorities do what's best for the sport and for the people, and then we'll be back. But yeah, just a quick update I thought on the channel. I am planning to do another Q&A video, so it'll be massive help if anyone can leave any questions down below in the comments or on Twitter, and I will try and answer them to use up another video. I'm trying to get 2 or 3 out a week. Other than that, when tennis is back, I will be daily previewing and reviewing tournaments and analysing the players as I did for the Australian Open. But I hope everybody is well, and everybody's family as well. I'll be back as soon as possible with more tennis content. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.